Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Bea and you're part of Bea-Keeper of Plants. If you're new here, welcome, and I'm so glad that you have found my channel. I am overjoyed with the number of new subscribers I have. Thank you so much. I am so blessed to have you guys along with me on this planty journey. If you are returning, thank you for sticking with me and thinking that this content is something that you are enjoying. I appreciate you as well. So before we get started, let's talk about my braces. Yes, I had to get braces. My very first video, I introduced myself, and I also let you in on me having a connective tissue disease. I have two progressive illnesses, and one of them being a connective tissue disease. And my mouth is reaping the precaution of this connective tissue disease, this illness with the gums and the shifting of the teeth and all of that. And so my dentist felt that I needed braces. And so I went on ahead and got braces. So bear with me with the talking and trying to get the words out and all of that. Just bear with me. I know you're here for the plants, but I just wanted to let you know that as well. So we're going to get started, and I have a quick unboxing I want to do with you. Let me find the box. I have opened it just to see. I was interested in seeing the pots because I was excited about them, but I'm going to share them with you. This came from Utopia Home, which is an Amazon company, and I needed pots. I don't have any new pots. The only pots that I do have are the pots that come with the plants, and because my plants are growing so rapidly, I need new pots, and I wanted something kind of colorful. So I bought these. This is peach. I think a green plant will look so pretty with peach in it. And let me show you the parts of the pot. They come with the little water planter holder, okay? And you sit your pot there. And I think it's so neat. The texture, the feel of the pot is not cheap. So it's really thick plastic. And then look at how many holes the pot has at the bottom. So your plants are really going to benefit from not being overwatered and however well watered. How about that? So I love it. I'm excited about it. I think I'll go back and order the multi-pack color next time, and you'll probably see that in a video. So let's get started with my video for today. In today's video, we're going to talk about Bea's way of repotting plants. Now, I don't have a monopoly on repotting plants, but I do have 5, I think, really good methods, I'll say, of repotting plants which I use, which have helped me, and I would like to share that with you. The first thing I would like to say is that when you are thinking that you need to repot a plant, you need to look at the plant and ask yourself, why do I think this plant needs repotting? A lot of times the plant will let you know why, and usually it's because the roots have grown out the pot. This plant is really dry, but the roots will have grown out the pot, and you can see that there are a lot of roots that this plant has. This is a plant that can benefit from repotting. I always look at my roots. I look at the bottom of the plant pot so that I'll know if I need to repot that plant. So you see that the roots are already stirred up, right? That gives the new root system, as it continues to grow, it will go on and grow inside of its new soil without a problem. So it just gives it more room to grow, especially when you tease those roots before actually potting it into its new home. It's always good to tease those roots. And you don't have to tease it so far that you're actually uprooting the plant, but you're teasing it enough so that the new roots will grow into the soil. And that's what you want. Okay? Real simple. Simple and quick. This is a Hoya carnosa. And I'm going to put it in this hanging pot. And the reason being is because it's already trailing, and I want it, as it continues to grow, I want it to continue to trail. And I think once these tendrils grow longer, it's going to be really nice. So let me snap on our hanger here. This is another pot that I've had. Remember I said I don't have many pots. The only pots I have are those that the plant has come in. I reuse pots. And this looks really, really nice hanging. Hoya carnosa. Okay? So check out the roots first. Okay? So we got that one done. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to look at the pot size. Very, very important to look at the pot size. You do not want to plant your pot. You don't want to pot your plant in too large of a pot. Okay, so let's look at the pot size. Let's see here. I'm going to go with this guy here. Okay, 𝒔𝒕𝒊𝒏𝒈. Let's go with her. Okay, she was part of a family of plants, and I separated her. Looking at her, she has grown a lot, and so what I'm going to do is put her in a taller pot. Why? Because she's a tall plant. So let's look at her root system and see what her root system looks like. I'm going to take her out, and I am pulling, which tells me she has a vast root system. Okay? Look at that, the root system. Okay? And I was pulling. So it's time to repot. So I have a pot that I'm going to put her in. Because she's tall, I'm going to give her a tall pot. And I like doing that. So I have this pot here. And I'm going to fill in this pot with some soil. Okay? So we checked the roots. We saw that I was pulling, which let you know right there that the root system was vast, had a lot of roots, right? So now it's just time to go on, find a new pot that's gonna fit her. I think it's this pot here is gonna be just fine, okay? And I'm going to backfill her with soil. This is an 𝒔𝒕𝒊𝒏𝒈. And I think she's going to benefit from this a whole lot because she was in need of a repot. She's been in that pot for at least a year. Okay? So let's look at it now. Alrighty? And what I'm going to do is put her in this 𝒔𝒕𝒊𝒏𝒈. I think it's going to look beautifully with the leaves. Okay? And I'm going to add just a little more, pressing really hard so that our soil is really holding the roots. All right, so now we have a new pot for our Aglaonema. So the first step, we want to look at the roots. The second step, let's check out a different size pot, which is going to work for your plant so that it can continue to grow healthy and thrive in your environment. Okay, so we have two right here. Perfect. Okay, the third thing that we want to do is talk about soil amendments. I'm going to kind of clear off this table, so bear with me for 1 second. Okay, let's talk about soil amendments, okay? What are some soil amendments we can use in order to help our plants thrive? One thing is this mycorrhizal fungi root enhancer. You can use this on your plants, okay, to enhance the soil. Another thing is you're putting Osmocote into your soil as well. So we've done 2 plants. All I'm going to do is take the Osmocote, sprinkle it around on the top of my soil. That's all I'm going to do. As I water this plant in, the Osmocote will feed the plant. Okay, so Aglaonema 𝒂𝒏𝒈 has some Osmocote in it. Put its tag back in. And then our Hoya carnosa will also get some Osmocote in it. So the next step would be soil amendments. What are we going to use to enhance the root growth in order for our plants to grow continuously and thrive very well? And what we're going to use for this plant, let's take it out. This is a philodendron squamiferum. So let's look at it. This has been in this pot for a pretty good while. You see the roots, right? It needs to what? Be repotted. It's time, okay? It has a new leaf that's coming, which is good, all right? So now we're just gonna give it a new home. We're gonna put it in a larger pot. Here we have here. So we're gonna take it out of its old home. And what we're going to do before we repot it, I'm going to use my root enhancer here. So what I'm going to do, you see, kind of sandy like, it's dark gray. All I'm going to do is take some soil, I'm going to place it at the bottom of the pot. Okay, and I'm going to take just a little bit, a pinch, and I'm going to put it in and work it around. Put it in and work it around. That's all I'm going to do. I don't need a whole lot. Okay, it's already in the soil. The next thing I'm going to do is take my Osmocote. Instead of sprinkling it on top, I'm going to go on and put it, excuse me, I'm going to go on and put it inside the soil. Excuse me for 1 second, let me get some water. So go on and put it inside the soil itself. Now we're going to fill in around our philodendron squammy fern. Pressing down, making sure that the roots are intact with the soil so that it can go on and be firm in the soil. It's new soil. And if you notice, I didn't take off a lot of the old soil. There's no need to do that. There's no need in disturbing the entire root system like that. I never do that, okay? So here, this guy is philodendron squammy, okay? And we're gonna put it in a new home as well. And I'll show you, I wanna put it in a different pot because the one that it was in is too much, too small. So let me get the other pot, hold on, 1 second. So now, this is its 𝒂𝒊𝒏𝒈, okay? So far, we've talked about the roots, looking at the roots. The next thing we talked about, making sure you go up a pot size, right? The third thing we talked about is making sure that you can look and see if you want to add any type of amendments to your soil in order to help with the growth, right? The fourth thing will be watering. Let's talk about watering. Making sure that your pot first has holes in the bottom so that the water can just flow on through is paramount. So you want to make sure of that, because if not, then you'll find that your plant is just sitting in water, which is not good for the root system. I have a watering little can. Oh, excuse me. I have a watering can. Let me show you what I use. I have two things that I use in order to water my plants. This is the first thing here, which is nothing but Miracle-Gro plant food. That's all it is. I shake it up, I put it in here, and I water my plants. So let me show you exactly what I'm talking about. And this is how I water my plants every time I need to water. So hold on. Miracle-Gro plant food, you know, it's that blue, the blue crystals. That's what it is. So what I do when I water my plants, I make sure I water the top and I let it pond on the top. So I let it pond on the top and it will drip through to the bottom. Okay. This also gives me an opportunity to press down a little more on the soil that was put inside at the beginning. Okay. So let's look at this guy here. Okay, the 𝑦𝒂𝒂𝒪. Same thing. I just wet the top just a little bit so that it can pond. And usually when your plant has been thoroughly watered, water will begin to drip from the bottom. Okay? Water will begin to drip from the bottom. Okay? And I don't want to overwater my Hoya, but water will begin to drip from the bottom. Alrighty? So Hoya carnosa just got some fresh water. So let's look at this new plant that I just bought. This here is a Hoya Freckles. I got it from Home Depot. And I am going to go through all of the steps with you for repotting a plant, okay? The first thing I told you to do is look to see, are the roots coming out of the bottom? Yes, the roots are coming out of the bottom, okay? So now we know it's time to repot this plant. The next thing we're gonna do is decide what size pot we're going to use. Because I love the color green on this plant, I decided that I wanted to get a pot that will complement the leaf color. So we're going to take it out of its pot. I'm squeezing the pot because the roots are coming from around it. Look. This has a beautiful root system. Beautiful root system. And it is time to repot this girl. Okay? So, let me show you what we're going to do. Let's go on and put some soil at the bottom. Got a lot going on here. So we're going to go on, put some soil at the bottom. Because this Hoya Freckles has a lot of tendrils, I'm going to use a trellis. So I'm going to go on and put my trellis in, like so. I'm going to place the Hoya Freckles very strategically so that I don't break any tendrils, and the tendrils will continue to grow. Okay? So I'm going to go on and put soil around the base. And even put soil in the back, making sure that I fill around the pot, the sides of the pot with the soil. So I'm filling in around the sides, tapping it so that all of the soil is moving to the side. You know, repotting is a messy job. I tell you, I cannot repot my plants and not get everything on the floor and on this table. I just can't do it. It's a messy job. Okay? So, let me make sure that pole has enough soil around it so it can hold the trellis. I called it a pole, but we're talking about a trellis. Okay, so now this tendril is very long, and all I'm going to do is use one of my butterfly clips and very gently go on and trellis it. The second one, I'm going to do the same thing and trellis it. So I have it trellised, just like so. Okay, and I don't want to bring this down. I'm going to let it continue to grow, okay? And then as it continues to grow, I will wrap it around again. But this is our Hoya carnosa freckles, okay, in its new home. Alrighty, and the very last plant I'm going to share with you is this propagation, which is the fiddle leaf fig. We're going to go on and get it into its new home. I said in the previous video that I was going to do it off camera, but I really want to do it with you because I want you to see the roots. So let's take it out and let's look at the roots. Wow. Look at the roots. It has and then look at those little dots. Those are roots that are going to come out. So I have a pot for it. And I'm going to use this pot. You may not think it's big enough, but it is. It's going to be just fine. So I'm going to go on, and I'm definitely am going to put some of this root enhancer on the roots here. Definitely going to do that. Definitely. So I've done that. I'm going to go on and put soil at the bottom. And I'm going to place her in just like so. How about that? Just like so. Okay? And with my fingers crossed and your fingers crossed, I am really hoping I will end up with a beautiful fiddle leaf fig. I really do. And I'm not taking the old leaves off. I'm going to let them hopefully fall off on their own for now. Okay. Now I will place some osmocote around the top of the plant so it will continue to get fertilized. And I will place it in its new home. I'm going to put a bag at the bottom so I can lift the plant up just like so. So the last step is finding proper lighting. Wherever you got your plant from, let's say, what I'm trying to say is, whatever shelf you picked your plant up off of in your plant room or in your house, and it was growing well, all you're going to do is place it right back in that same spot. Always know the type of light that your plants need, okay? Whether it's direct light, or whether it's moderate light, whether it's intermittent light, whatever kind of light that your plant need, make sure that you're giving that plant that type of lighting. And wherever this plant was growing, I'm going to put it right back in that same spot because it was growing well. So I really hope you enjoyed this video. I enjoyed making it with you. I enjoyed talking about bees' 5 steps in repotting plants. So thank you again. I will see you in the next video. And green thumbs up. Let's keep growing. Bye-bye.